something that you would go for 10 times out of 10, or is that a gut thing and kind of a situational thing? How do you kind of process that?
Yeah, I mean, felt good about our chances. Had a chance to win the game right there, and we didn't get it done. So.
Sean, the play before, it looked like he made the first down. There was no measurement. Was it clear?
The signal was first down. They signaled first down, and
Right.
they changed it. From what I was told after the game there when I visited with Cleat, that I think they radioed down and changed it. So
Upstairs, that
I
it
believe
wasn't a
so.
first down.
Yes. Yeah.
About asking for a measurement, or, I mean, in that case, you're powerless, I guess?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. So at the end of the day, we didn't get the job done. I didn't get the job done, and you know, they did a good job in the red zone. We should have scored. You know, our red zone stats, I think, were 2 for 5. They were 3 for 3. You know, and then the points off the turnover, they got 7. We came away with 3. So just some of the differences in the game. But at the end of the day, the result's the result, and we gotta do a better job.
Is there a common thread that you can pinpoint as to some of the struggles in the red zone this season? Because Tyler just keeps kicking 20-some-yard field goals every week. Had a couple in the first half today. Yeah.
You know, to tell you right now, as we sit here without looking at it, and but we've had some struggles in the red zone. You know, same last year coming here. So.
Sean, obviously Henry had a great night for them, but it looked like your pass defense struggled in the second half. Tannehill completed a lot of balls over the middle.
Yeah.
Can you pinpoint maybe what was going on there?
Well, it was not just one thing. I don't think, Sal. I think, you know, some of it we were, you know, sucking up on the play action a little bit there with the play fake, and opens up the middle, and that's where they've got good receivers, and that's what 22 does to you. It makes you commit to the run, and so, you know, we could have done some other things too as well, and we'll look at it as coaches.
You lost in a similarly tough fashion last year going into the bye in Arizona. Came out of the bye really strong. I think you won every game after that point. How did you use that pain of that loss to kind of fuel the rest of the season, and how do you try to do that again this year?
Yeah, every year is different. You know, I appreciate you bringing that up. You know, you want to win every game, and you know, now we got a week to sit on this one and learn from it and come back stronger. So that's the goal every week, Jay, and that'll be the goal next week as well.
They made mention on the broadcast that Brian found out that he had lost his grandfather. What was the reaction amongst the team, and for him to be going through this both with his grandmother now and his grandfather in such a short amount of time? How difficult has this been for him and the team?
Yeah, unfortunate news. You know, Brian's been through a lot over the last 2 or 3 weeks here, and so, you know, our prayers and thoughts are obviously with him and his family, and you know, never want to see someone go through that. It's just unfortunate.
John, how frustrated are you with the penalties? Last week, I think it was 10, didn't end up mattering. This week, it seemed like every one was a big penalty.
Yeah. I mean, they're big, Sal, and it comes back to making sure we're using the right technique and moving our feet, using our hands, getting our hands inside. Had 1 or 2 pre-snap penalties also you could throw in there, I believe, and so you know, discipline's important, and if you want to be a good football team.
The guys are always talking about how much confidence you have in them and how that inspires them to play at your best. You obviously have tremendous confidence in them, having them go for it on 4th and 1 there at the end. How do you maintain that type of motivation among the guys? How do you have them keep their heads high after coming up short in that instance?
Well, I mean, I'm always going to believe in my players and our football team and our coaches, and you know, we'll learn from this, and we try to move forward and get better because of it. That's what you do. It's a season of ups and downs, and so it's a team that stays together the longest is going to give himself the best chance at the end.
What went into the decision to not dress A.J. Epinesa?
Yeah, I just felt like you know, we wanted to dress some other guys and look at some other guys with Harry and you know, dressing F.A. and just looking at trying to find matchups as well. So.
Sean, on that 4th down play, does Josh have a kind of a decision there to make, or did he lose his footing a little bit there when you kind of watched the?
Yeah, I just got a little bit of a video of it before I came in here, and it just looked like there was some penetration there off our left side, and they pinched down. So it looked like there was an opportunity, but at the end of the day, I trust him, and I'll trust him again if we're in that situation again. So, I'll take Josh Allen, as you said, Sal, 10 times out of 10. So give them the credit. They made the play they had to make when the game was on the line.
Did you see him slip on the video, though, Sean? It looked like he did lose his footing. As he pushed off.
I didn't. It looked like, they had one player in what became the B gap over there, and he penetrated, and it looked like he knocked us back a little bit there off that left side there.
Sean, in that situation, do you put much thought into kicking a field goal there? Is that something that you seriously go back and forth on, and what led to not doing that there?
Yeah, I mean, we're this far from winning the game, and I owe that to my players. And I believe in my players. I believe in our quarterback. So I trust my guys. Obviously, we didn't get it done in this case, but I trust my players.
And Dawson hurt his hand ahead of that two-point conversion. I guess that what made you so confident putting him out there?
Yeah, well, he did. He was, working through it a little bit there, and then when we got him off the field, we were able to evaluate him a little bit more. So I thought he did a good job pushing through it there.
Sean, on the last play, is there a read for Josh to make? Or, I know there are different types of quarterback sneaks in the playbook. Is this a read, or is that what he was going to do?
Yeah, I mean, most quarterback sneaks are, there's a feel or a read element involved, Tim, and Josh is usually spot on with those. You've seen him have a lot of success in those situations. And, so, again, give them the credit. They made the play when they had to make one, and, felt, hey, if we're that far from potentially winning the game right there was the best thing we could do. We hadn't stopped them on defense for a number of drives there in the second half, really. So, but again, felt like we could go and win the game right there, and obviously didn't get it done.
Take two more, please.
I know it's kind of instant reaction, but what is your takeaway from this game?
Well, we'll go back and look at it. I just feel like the thing that jumps off the page at me is number one is our guys fought, right? It was an intense football game, back and forth like we expected. But the red zone, the turnover, the difference of points right there, that's a potentially different game. But it's not. I'm not going to play the woulda, shoulda, coulda. We got to learn from that and get better. And then we've got to fix some things on defense as well. And then the penalties overall, we can't kill ourselves with penalties like that.
Feel that it was, obviously Derek ran it really well, but that the defense kind of wore down as the game went along?
Well, that's what they try and do. They keep pounding you, and that, especially with the wide zone. He had a couple of them there in the second half that, they expect you at some point to wear down, and I don't know if it was as much us wearing down as just not getting off blocks. In your gap's one thing, but you got to shed the block.